Hey, it's Joe. Another question here. This one is from Shabere Dalala, and he's from Jackson Heights, New York. And his question is, where do I find startup investment capital? And that's a question that every investor asks at some point in their process, especially investors who don't understand how to do deals without capital. My philosophy is, if you can't, they always say that you need money to make money, but my philosophy is, if you can't do deals with no money, you sure aren't going to make money with money. You got to learn how to make money with no money. And by that, I mean no credit, no cash, and not using other people's investment funds. You're going to use other people's financing instead. You're going to use seller financing instead. So essentially, you are using other people's money, but you're not using a bank's money, or you're not using an investor money. There's new issues with the Dodd-Frank Act and some other things like that, the SAFE Act, that make it a little more difficult to do private money these days. It's still possible and still can be profitable, but I would suggest as you're getting started that you learn how to do it with no money, because you're going to be making mistakes as you go through this process. Even if you have me as a mentor, you're still going to make mistakes. That's one of the ways that I teach. I teach you to take action on certain things so that I know that you're going to make mistakes on those things. I'm not trying to make you make mistakes, but you're going to if you follow through with this process the way that I teach it. And those mistakes will teach you much more than anything else can possibly do. But if you do deals that a mistake means that you have to file bankruptcy, or it damages your credit, or it means you lose a wad of cash, that's not an acceptable way to do business. So instead, learn how to do this process with no money and get it going that way. Now, if you want to find investment capital as far as private money and hard money loans don't make very much sense. There's very few situations where it'll pencil out, and I can show you that. I have people that argue with me on this all the time, but if you sit down and look at the numbers on this, most of the time hard money doesn't make sense. Plus, you need dramatic under market values to make it make sense as well. If you're looking for properties, even just to wholesale, if you're looking for dramatically under market value properties that you're going to wholesale, which means flip them without buying them, without paying for them, and making a chunk of money. And that's a viable way to do it as well, and I teach how to do that. But if you're going to do that, you have to buy that property dramatically under market value in order to find a cash buyer for it. And those types of sellers are going to be a lot fewer and farther between. We'll come across 20 viable seller financed deals before we come across one dramatically under market value property. So if you're doing wholesale deals, we're doing 20 times as many deals as you, simply because we can do deals that you can't do because you need it to be dramatically under market value. You're looking for desperate, motivated sellers. We're looking for just people that want to sell their property. Yes, they're motivated. They want to sell their properties. I consider them to be motivated sellers, but they're not desperate, or they're in a situation where they can't drop their property. They can't drop the price on their property. They can't leave a ton of money on the table. So if you learn how to do this properly, you'll go after the right type of lead. There'll be plenty of them. You'll have plenty of deals that you can do, and you won't have to leave a lot of deals on the table like every wholesaler or rehabber or short sale dealer that I deal with or that I know has to do. All right, I hope that helps. Thanks.